together like on Saturday because we had a committee this week.
Hi, Mia.
Hi.
We're just getting started. Lonnie's here.
Hi, Lonnie.
Yeah, the place was closed, so I went to check to make sure that I had the right place. Like I know it's here. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Here for the event.
Oh, come on in and have a seat.
Gather
There's a
time.
sign-in sheet right here. Hi.
Sorry.
All right, how are you? Thanks for coming out.
Yes,
Oh,
we are the people. You can put your name on it. And then I'll put the business.
let me switch my screen to mirror.
Oh, you in the blue tinted glasses.
Man.
The screen.
I'm trying to turn this light on and it's not.
I got it.
working.
You just hop over there and hop over here.
Yeah, but it's not, I don't think I have enough juice in my computer today.
Oh, well, you need to get it charged now because it's gonna kill like with the thing. It's gonna-
Yeah, so I need a separate block or something. You know, like the block for the phone. I know I'm.
Believe me, sweetie, I got enough with either. Because you need to plug this in USB wise.
Yeah,
And you could plug it in. Oh, you maybe could do it here.
I did, and it's
It's not enough power.
yeah, like.
We brought the baby. That's okay. Yeah, so it might be a little while. It's bedtime.
Maybe you can get a, yeah, you need to charge your computer. What's your percentage?
Mm,
Yeah, you need to look at your battery.
80%.
How long is this? Hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah.
You should be fine. You should be fine.
All right. So we're just getting started. I know you get to see all the messiness. Sophia Stewart's going to be on at 7. Right now, I'm just welcoming people. People are walking into the space, and I'm setting up cameras so that you all can see. Let's see here.
Oh, Pollard left. So you already have something.
She could probably use that. Charge, she could probably use that charge, battery charge. Charge the battery. That, no battery. That's Pollard. Okay, we'll find it.
All right. I'm just trying to. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hold on 1 second. So if go into the projection. It'll pull up in there. But
I think I have one in the car. I think I'm only going to use one.
how do you turn this on?
Oh,
There's
there's a remote right there. There you go. Ah,
But I
you can
plugged it
see
into the
me.
thing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you look loud and clear. Let me take it down a little bit. You don't need that much.
I do not.
It's gonna bring out your something. Gonna bring out your wine color.
Let me move this up.
They say I gotta make me your program assistant.
Do undo my mic.
Hi.
Hello.
So I have you scheduled to be on at 7 because you had that other event. Is your other event canceled now?
Yes, cancel. We can go.
Oh, okay. Well, let me flip the cameras around.
Yeah, because he didn't give me the right time. He's on right now, but you know, I'm just gonna bypass him. He just, you know, this it's gonna be you. Let's go with you.
Okay. All right. No worries. It's all good. So I guess
Yes.
we will do this in a different order. Hi, everybody that already knows me. It's good to see you. We've got some people here in the audience, some people wandering around. We're going to get started. Sophia Stewart showed up early. So let me see if I can flip the screen so people can actually see you.
Yeah, because I always thought it was like 6 o'clock my time. That's all I'm thinking about you, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, originally, let's see here.
And I've been looking forward to this interview, actually. You know that?
Well, I've been looking forward to it for sure. I'm just trying to figure out how to change the screen so that people can see you.
Oh, great. Just take your time. I'm with you, LaWana. Just take your time. This is going to be a fabulous interview. So just looking forward to it.
Okay. So, we still have people logging in right now. So I guess I'll start by, I'll share my screen so people can see. Let's see here.
Just take your time.
Uh-huh. All right, so some of you are familiar with some of the work that I do, and some of you are not. So I thought I would share a screen to kind of show you what's going on. Let's see here. Go here, go here, go here, and share. And there's no sound to it, thank goodness. And I'm trying to figure out how to flip
I'll
this.
show you. You really want to do like this, and then just go back and forth.
Yeah, just take
Yeah,
your
but
time.
see what the people that are here can,
Oh, they can't see that.
right. Yeah, so what I need to do is escape this and make it where it mirrors instead of
Stop share right there.
all right, I'm gonna stop sharing. And then we're gonna go. How do I? So if I unplug this, is it gonna mess everything up?
Yeah, what are you trying to do?
Let me go to settings. I need a tech. That's terrible. I used to be the tech.
I can do it. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to go to general settings, go to display, go to system preferences. Oh, this is not it.
So it's probably on the bar. Where's your bar?
Right here.
Oh, system preferences. Just go SIS. Type in S. Give me 1 second. Here. Just go SIS. SYS. Yeah, they're right there.
Okay.
Just by like
And then go to
Displays.
oh, down here.
yeah.
I'm going to here. There we go. That's all I needed.
Okay.
Now I have one display, which makes it much easier too. I'm not trying to figure out who can see what.
And then you should be able to go to the side. Slide to the side to get the other one. Get your first adjustment.
Wait, go here. Oh, I gotta go here. Oh, ha! Woo!
You got it?
I got it. All right, so everybody can see the screen. All right, so everyone can see the screen and everyone can hear me. Is that a yes? Can
Yes.
everybody over there hear me?
Yes.
Am I talking loud enough for y'all? All right, cool. All right, so Welcome to the first event of the Black Speculative Arts Movement San Diego chapter. You may be wondering what that is, right? And so I thought I'd start by saying welcome to the Black Speculative Arts Movement. The co-founder is Dr. Ronaldo Anderson, who invited me and kind of charged me with starting a San Diego chapter. And I'll just read his quote. He said, there was a restlessness in the creative community at the beginning of this decade, a dissatisfaction with a certain aspect with politics going on, and a desire to get the art and political ideas a platform. That led to us putting together this exhibition, which turned into a global network of artists, writers, publishers, and creatives who come together to create content, experiences, whether it's literature, performing arts, lectures, to discuss things through an Afrofuturist lens. So I guess your next question might be, well, what is Afrofuturism, right? That tends to be the question. So I'll start by saying, what is BSAM? We can go into, we've got Astro-Blackness, we've got Afrofuturism. Afrofuturism is a term that was coined in the early mid-90s by a British journalist who was putting together a collection of essays called Cyberculture Flame Wars. Please have a seat. If you sign in right there, that would be awesome. And then he went from there to, he decided his chapter was gonna be Black to the Future. And one of the things that he said in there is science fiction, art, music, literature that center the Black experience, for lack of a better term, he'll call it Afrofuturism. I prefer the term Sankofa, but we won't go into that right now. I wanted to let you know that at the same time that he was doing that, there were already writers publishing and creating content. W.E.B. Du Bois wrote a science fiction story in the early 20th century, is like around 1920-ish. There's a series of speculative fiction called Black Empire, which I encourage everyone to read. It's hard to find though, but you'll love it. And it was written by George S. Schuler, again in the early 1900s, and it was published as a serial in their local Black newspaper. And we've got Astro-Blackness, we've got metaphysics, but the whole idea is really re-envisioning the future in a way that's more inclusive, because quite often, historically, science fiction would be very, very white. So it left out everyone that had any type of melanin or pigment in their skin. So that is kind of where we started. And then, let's see here. I think I've given you a little bit of background. The San Diego chapter was launched November 20th at the Hamlet Coffee Shop, and that's this year. We're still in the process of forming. I am in the lead. We still haven't written up our bylaws. The board is comprised of myself, Dree Berry, Dr. Ebony Williams, and Jackie Clark. And we really are excited about putting everything together. And we look forward to engaging with all of you going forward. With all that being said, I encourage you to go to our local website and stay abreast of events and activities that we do. And we will be looking at coffee table books, film series, lectures, workshops, and we'll probably do an Afrofuturism dream tank. And again, I will go into all of that and answer any questions you might have, but I do not want to keep our guest waiting because I really appreciate her being here and I value and respect her time. Now, Sophia Stewart. You look
Yes,
lovely,
hi.
by the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Excited to do your show today or tonight.
All right, well, we really appreciate you making the time to be here. And so I guess if you would like to just give us a little bit of background, and then we can, I'll ask a few questions, and then I will also take questions from the audience. I'll be monitoring the chat, and I think this is going to be a fun discussion.
Yeah, I want to say hello, everyone. Sophia Stewart. I'm from New York City, of course, the boogie down Bronx and in Manhattan. And I first started my journey to writing the Third Eye Matrix and Terminator work while I was at USC Film School. I have a degree in journalism, a double major in law and psychology. I'm actually a full-fledged attorney. I won my case September the 25th, 2014, 7 years ago. And all you guys have been hearing and reading about is just troll information on the internet. And I try to tell people to go to the library, to the archives, and get the real news, and it'll tell you that I've won. I've been at the Oscars for 2020, got invited for 2022, March the 27th coming up. I also have won numerous awards, and my work has 2 to 3 billion fans globally. The real fourth installment, of course, is The Evolutions of Consciousness, Matrix 4, Evolution for the Machines. Machines have evolved into greater, greater weaponry, greater machines than they were before as the agents. So Neo has this greater threat coming, and this is the real Matrix 4, not the garbage, not the regurgitation of vomit, what they call a resurrection or resuscitation that you guys just saw in the movie released on the 22nd. People were laughing. It was empty and a lot of people went to sleep. So did I and my husband. It was very boring. So I just want people to know, go to my websites and get the real Matrix 4 Evolution. Go to Amazon, people, you foreign country, other than foreign countries. Look at the reviews. There are a lot of 5-star reviews, almost 100 reviews on the book, which is soon to be a animation, Matrix 4 animation. I had decided on that because of the pandemic. So lots of people can still see the real Matrix 4 that's been read globally around the world since 2010, 11 years, people, 11 years. I'm sorry you had to hear all those innuendos and garbage on the internet where people say I didn't show up for my court case, talking about the California 2005 court case. That case got dismissed because it was a RICO case, a criminal case that was going to put these people in jail. And of course, they sent 4 law firms claiming that they were coming to help me, but they actually came to sabotage the case and to prevent any evidence from being entered. But I took care of that in my second federal court case in Utah because the FBI told me that the most corrupted judges and lawyers were in California, and I would have a better chance in Utah, coming from a military law enforcement family. My brothers were stationed at Hill Air Force Base in Utah, so I took the case there and won. So you need to know that I am the real and only creator and owner of the Matrix and Terminator film franchises by copyrights. And that Andy and Larry Wachowskis are not trannies. They never had any sexual operations or transition or any of that. No legal name change, can't get one because they committed some criminal acts. Their names are not on any copyrights. Their names are not on any trademarks, any scripts, nothing. Their names are not on anything. And I'm just so surprised that you fans out there who are some of the most brilliant people have not dug this information up and seen it with your own eyes. I'm here to answer your questions. You can ask me anything you want. And I'm very excited to hear some of your questions and some of your excitement. And some of you people have already, fans have already supported my cause. I've done gotten over 1 million hits on TikTok. I just went viral not too long ago. And I just, I think another TikTok is like about maybe 80 or 90,000, but it's just got put on. So look at the TikToks, go to the library and look at the archives and get the real news. I've done over 4,000 media interviews, mainstream, Judge Joe Brown, Rolling Stone, LA Times, Time Magazine, Essence, Vibe, Source, Black Enterprise, BET, you name it, pretty much I've done it. Been interviewing steadily since 2001, when DJ Kyle, Greensboro, North Carolina, radio prime time, And then when ABC Disney broke my story October the 17th, 2003, it went viral and it's been going viral ever since. So I'm waiting for your questions. Let's get busy.
Oh, okay. Oh. All right. So my first question is, it came from an audience member. They wanted to know, how did the studios get the screenplay?
It was a copyrighted screenplay in a book called The Third Eye, Matrix and Terminator. That's what my book was called, because the third eye, the eye of God, the Matrix, the womb of the woman, and Terminator End Time Revelations, where the prophecy is given by the oracle that a child is going to be born. I was looking for George Lucas because I saw his work, Star Wars, in 1977 when I was a kid growing up in New York. I saw Star Wars at the Apollo Theater, and I loved what he did with Star Wars. I didn't know it was his work, and I knew on the screen credit that he was over at 20th Century Fox. So I sent my work over there looking for him, not shopping my work. I was already working at a studio, Columbia Pictures, and Vice President Dick Barris's office, and the producer, Brandon Cahill, Fantasy Island. And I myself have done media. I'm from New York, so I've done Channel 13 with Oscar Award producer Perry Miller Adato. She won an Oscar with her first work, Dylan Thomas, and I won 4 Oscars with my first work, The Matrix, 1999 Matrix. And I used to work for a national magazine out of New York City. So I am well-versed in media as well as film schools, USC, and City University of New York. I had some teachers that were very famous that taught me writing. Max Siegel, former journalist with the New York Times, Emil Kapulia, essay critic, author, and of course, Leon Roth over at USC. His son, Eric Roth, ROTH, won an Oscar for Airport 79, and he did Benjamin Buttons and of course, Forrest Gump. Like I said, I was looking for Lucas, and so I was not shopping my work. And this is the dilemma. They stole the work, adapted it to the screen from my script in my book, but they were copyright written, so they counterfeited. And of course, it's history now because you guys have seen the first Matrix and the first 2 Terminators. They adapted verbatimly out of the book, and the others 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 Terminators, some of them are just plain garbage. From the 4th one on, it's just terrible garbage where they try to change the concept. And did not know this one epic story that the Terminator is actually one story with the Matrix. It's past, present, future time travel. What I wrote was the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. So the Matrix is a 7,000-year-old Latin word for the woman's womb, her stargate, her portal to bring babies into this physical dimension called the earth. And so when the machines in the future hear the oracle's prophecy that a baby is going to be born that's going to destroy them when they enslave mankind, they know that the lady, the woman who's destined to have this baby is Sarah Connor. They know they're sending a Terminator to terminate her so she won't have the baby. And of course, the rebellion, Reloaded, is going on in Revolution, because man versus the machine, man is fighting these artificial intelligence that man have created in the laboratory, what you call test tube babies, clones, drones, hologram clones, petri dish babies, artificial inseminated babies, gender benders, gender manipulated babies, but they're all one cell amoebas. They're seedless and soulless. They cannot replicate, they cannot duplicate. They're here to make war against man, God's children. So this is what the real story of the Matrix and Terminator is about, but it's also about unplugging you from all the ignorance and the lies so you can see the truth and see the reality of what's going on here on earth. and in the universe. So that's how my work was stolen, but it was the money actually that was taken, and I got that money back September the 25th, 2014, 7 years ago, and in next year it'll be 8 years. They've been hiding this because you expect to find news on the internet. The internet is not media. It is a distribution platform for you to make money, and that's what you need to be concentrating on, how to make money on the internet, because there's 7 billion people here on Earth, and a good 3 billion people spend their every moment on the internet at some point in time. So let's make money on the internet, not gossip and put lies out and in the windows. Let's put the truth out and make money.
You mean the internet's not gospel? No,
Nope.
seriously. I
It's
had
not
someone
gospel.
ask about some of the themes that have been coming through there in terms of like the they asked about like the transgender themes and if that was part of the original story.
Of course not. There was no transgender in 1999. That's common sense. That's common sense. There was no transgender, no trannies, no transsexuals in 1999. There was just homosexuality and confusion. So you can answer that. The audience can answer that themselves. All you have to do is go to the library and dig up 1999 and see what was going on during that period of time. So there was no tranny. There was no tranny, no trans, no kind of confusion. That is an obsolete question.
So I guess for me, part of the intrigue with the Matrix story was really getting into like some of the metaphysical aspects and the existential theories that came through and the questions about reality for, in terms of like metaphors. When you think about what you were originally, the story you were originally telling, what was the message, the key message that you really wanted people to get from your story? And do you feel
That's
like it
very
was still
easy.
conveyed even though they stole your work?
It was easy. What I wrote, and they wrote about me in 1981, the Los Angeles Sentinel. They said Sophia Stewart is coming up with the first Black science fiction with Black leadership role. That's what the Matrix, if you look at the 1999 Matrix, it is the first Black science fiction. And Neo, the one, is the Muhammad Ali character. Why? Because he was a Black living hero at the time here on Earth. And no one had had any experience like that, having a Black living superhero. So I wanted to give people a Black science fiction where they could see, people of color can see themselves in leadership role, because all white science fiction, Star Wars, Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Rocky, saving the world, the white man is the hero. And if it's 1 or 2 Black people in those movies, they have no leadership role and they die at the first 10 minutes of the movie. This is a fact. Go look at the movies. They didn't even want to claim the 1999 Matrix movie, because if you look at it, look at all the Black leadership roles. Look at all the Black people to be in a science fiction movie for the first time in 1999. And Will would have gotten a chance, Will Smith, but those people could not explain my work to him. They came off like a bunch of idiots. And so he passed on it, and he has regretted that ever since. And he played Jim West in the movie Wild Wild West. And his wife, Jada, went on to play in The Matrix and made history. But if you look at the movies and look at all the people, Marcus Chong, Nona Gay, Jada Pickett, Lawrence Fishburne, Henry Perrine, Anthony Parker, Tyler Perry, Roy Jones, Cornel West, Keith Davis, a whole lot of others. I can go on and on and on. You have never seen that many Black people in leadership role. In The Oracle, Gloria Foster. Come on, people, wake up and smell the coffee. You're not the cavalry. You are the Indians, the natives to America. You've never been to Calvary. That is the programming where you don't see yourself, where you have the black doll, but you don't want it, but your acceptance of the white doll is what you are programmed to accept. You know this.
Go ahead.
You know this. All of you know this. When you look at the 1999 Matrix movie, go back and look at it. You've never seen yourself in Black leadership roles ever until that movie came out, and it affected 2 to 3 billion people globally, because 3/4 of the people on Earth are Black people, some of them with white skin, with white privileges, but you're Black. You're not any race, because that's the term race. The word race is racist in itself. There are no races. Go back in the Bible and look at the tribes. There were many tribal people with different skin colors, like it is today. But you've been taught to separate and divide and to hate yourself and to be invisible. That's what
Right,
the
so
invisible man was all about.
So yeah, I agree with like not being invisible for sure. I had an audience member who asked, who would you have cast in the main 7 characters today? So if you could have cast it yourself and you're casting it today, the 1999 Matrix, who would you cast?
I wouldn't cast anybody. The people who portrayed the characters were the right people. Keanu Reeves he has white skin, but his father is Asian Polynesian. Carrie Ann Moss, who played Trinity, she's Canadian. There was only about 3 characters that were white: Mouse, Cypher, and Switch. The rest of the people, including the Wave, was nothing but a majority of Black people. And of course, the agents, the bad guys, were white. And that's how you know it's a Black science fiction. Because in white science fiction, the white man is the Superman hero saving the world. He is not the bad guy. Go and look in the Matrix. He is the bad guy. Go look at the Black exploitation movies. Pam Grier, Fred Williamson, a whole lot of others. We got a plan to sock it to the man. We got a plan to take out the man. So you know that is a Black science fiction, the Matrix. They don't even claim it. You know about Star Wars. When the young teenager got into Star Wars in 2015, they had a fit because he had a Black leadership role. Do not play like you don't know what's going on, people. You're not the cavalry. You are the natives. You are the Indians. And this was the first time you got represented in a science fiction. A true fact.
So the other thing, one of the challenges I think people have had when looking at, the content and then looking at the alleged creators is the complexity and sophistication of the concepts and the science involved. What were some of the things you researched as you were writing in order to ground your writing in just in a nice, solid, to make it science fiction instead of fantasy, I guess would be the way to describe it.
It was science fiction because it's talking about the machines, just like H.G. Wells is science fiction because he's talking about the machines. With his since he was born in the Iron Age, he saw a machine as a clankety-clank old metal robot. Since I was born in the digital age, you saw a Terminator, a machine wrapped in flesh, killed but cannot be killed. It is definitely science fiction. It's going in and out of space and dimensions. And that's the way it was created, and that's the way I wrote it. It was not fantasy. It was definitely science fiction because the universal language is mathematics. It's talking about the binary codes. When you see the numbers coming down in the green tent, that's the 1 and the 0, the binary codes of the machines. The red and the blue pill, you see how deep the rabbit hole goes? It's quite easy to see it's science fiction at its best.
So I guess the next thing for me is, we talk, I do a lot of introducing people to science fiction, encouraging people to look at it as a way of understanding how to function, make choices now for a better future. When you were first being introduced to science fiction, before you started writing it, who were you reading?
I'm not what you call a master writer. I've been writing since I was in grade school, 11 years old in the 7th grade. My first college professor from the school, he substituted for our English teacher, Ms. Day, who got sick. And he said he didn't know anything about English, but he was going to teach us how to write. So I've been writing for a long time. By the time I got into the universities, I was already a master writer. So who was I reading? I wasn't reading anyone. I was actually being me. Now, when I was a kid in grade school and elementary, I was reading books. I was a bookworm. I read everything, anything I could pick up, whether it was a newspaper, magazine, whatever I could read, I would read it. And a lot of times the kids would tell me, come on, let's play. Put those books down, put those magazines down, put that newspaper down. So I am a visionary, a polymath. That means well-versed in many math, like Tesla, like Leonardo da Vinci. We create through math. Every engineer who creates a car is creating it mathematically. Every architect that creates a bridge or a house is creating it mathematically from the blueprints. So our whole world is geared in numbers. Your birthday, your birth certificate, your driving license, your house number, you are numbered for the moment you come out. Given a birthday, like I said, and when you die, they tax you on your way out. And if you look around, the things that catch you more so is nothing but math, the whole world. But what you've been geared to and start looking at is spells or spelling and what you were taught in school. The teacher would whip you if you did not learn the spells or spelling or curses. They'll create illusions. Now, learning math, you will be a co-creator with God. You will start creating and inventing all types of things here. The voice is out. I cannot hear you. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I can hear it now.
Oh, so I have a question from the audience. They'd like to know what project you're working on next.
Yes, I'm doing the Matrix 4 evolution animation because now that we have this pandemic, it's very important that we do not infect a lot of people. And during a pandemic like this, the regular Matrix 4 movie would cost something like $150 million because of the technology and so forth and special effects and graphics. So with an animation, it'll be less, but it'll also be safer and it'll be something for kids also.
As I was promoting this event, I had a lot of people come to me and say that it was fake news and that Snopes or whatever said that it wasn't real. And I've seen how the internet can be scrubbed of facts. So my question to you is, what is your response to the people who don't want to believe that this is true?
Well, Snopes or Snoops or whatever they are, Snoops, who I'm gonna call them, snooping, they're not credible. And a lot of people already know it. A lot of fans have already tested that credibility and know it's garbage. And I need to tell Snoop to go to the Library of Congress and the library archives and get the real news and go to the Library of Congress and get the copyrights, because guess what? It's not real. Andy and Larry Wachowski, James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd have no copyrights in their names, no trademarks in their names, no scripts in their names, nothing. How about that? So why don't you go and find out why they don't have any copyrights, but I do.
That's a great answer. So then the next thing is, and this is probably going more into, of course, we want to, talk about problems, but always, always, always also talk about solutions. So I have an audience member who asked, how do we get more representation for Black screenwriters to submit their work and not be ripped off? Or what are some things we can do to protect ourselves so that we don't have to fight the good fight that you had to fight?
No, everybody has to fight a fight because no one is immune from theft. No one. I'm sorry. They stole from the mob, the Gavino. They stole a script from him. They stole from the congressmen. They steal from their own producers and actors. The only difference between me is that they stole billions of dollars, and I didn't get ripped off so much because I own the copyrights to the work. They stole the money, but that's what thieves do, steal money. And you have to go and get that money. And you also have to put a RICO on them or have the government to file theft for counterfeiting. The same process that the Little Nas did to Nike. Nike is $1 billion company, and Little Nas already knew in mischief, the company executives already knew that Nike owned it and it was trademarked, and it didn't stop them from going after Nike and making a Nike shoe with some blood on it and counterfeiting it and altering it and selling 666,000 copies. Come on, you people, wake up. A thief is a thief, and they're gonna come after anybody. It doesn't matter about you having copyrights and trademarks. Anybody that right now wanna steal your car, steal your house, steal your husband or your boyfriend, there's nothing you can do to stop them but to protect yourself like you always supposed to protect yourself. If it's your work, then copyright it and trademark it so you can go after the damages and persuade the government to go after the criminals for counterfeiting. That's all anyone can do. And me being an attorney and studying law from the beginning and have the degree in it, I already knew how to protect myself. But again, you can't stop anybody from doing anything they want to do on earth. Let's face it, this is the reality. These people in Hollywood, they'll steal from anybody they want to steal from. It's up to you to make them pay. It's up to you to make sure that justice is carried out by protecting and supporting each other when something happens that way. Dealing and sticking with the truth, bringing out the truth, and supporting the truth. That's very, very important.
So another question is, where can someone go to get their work produced on their own?
Oh, you can right now, you can go to Netflix and get your work produced. You can go to Amazon. There are many, many independent companies and corporations, or you can start your own. Because with technology now, you can sell anything on the internet and reach billions of people just like they do on TikTok. You put something on TikTok, you sell it, you can reach millions of people, 7 million if you want to. Just get a good and great product and learn technology and how to utilize it. You're in the greatest time period of all time, a time of great technology and wonders. No one has to be a slave. Can I hear you? Your mic is off.
I was asking the audience that's here in person if any of them had any questions, because so far most of my questions are coming from the people that are online.
Oh, great.
Yes.
I love that. Love to answer them.
Oh. Okay, so I guess it's back to me. So I would say, I'm really, really grateful for you being here. And I'm excited about the fact that, that the current, technology makes it really hard to keep a secret unless you want it to be a secret. And I like that you're getting out. You said that you're doing like 40 interviews or something. I mean, what has it been like for you since the new Matrix movie came out?
Well, that is not so much a matter, but it is because now my calls are like quadrupling or doubling and quadrupling. And a lot of people are asking for a lot more interviews. and I'm kind of overwhelmed with them because I was doing 30 to 40 a month anyway. My calendar filled up really quickly, and they're paid interviews. And I try to do honorariums because I know that some people don't have the money and they want the truth out. And I try to deal with certain people according to the money they have, because I do podcasts that goes up into the thousands of dollars, and webinars and schools that are thousands and thousands of dollars. And so I'm just trying to get the truth out there to help other people to support truth and to fight for truth and stand up for it. So yeah, a lot of people know the truth now that Andy and Larry Wachowski told them a lie. Andy's been married to his wife for over 22 years. You can look this up. Larry is, he was married in 93, he got the divorce. And of course, he's with some dominatrix woman or something. But you know, these guys are not homosexuals or they're not trannies. And I mean, I don't know. They're confused and they've been lying to the LGBT organizations, and soon they're going to find that out and they're going to want blood. They're going to want to stump their butts for lying and using the audiences.
All right, so the next question I have is from actually an audience member here who wanted to know the new movie that came out. Do you get a share of that as well?
I hope not. It's garbage, but I'm going to come after it. I'm coming after the copyright. That's the main thing I'm going to take. And then the money to the damages, yes, I'll take that and donate it to some worthy cause, because it really does need to be donated. It's such garbage. It's so horrible. They're going to snatch it out of the movie theaters really soon because it has destroyed John Wick franchise, which they were going to use John Wick to be rebranded as the Matrix. And that was the John Wick character. That was not me, Trinity. That was Tiffany. The Merovingian looked like a crackhead. It was garbage. I don't know. David Mitchell Cloud Atlas book, David Mitchell Cloud Atlas movie. I don't know what you got your name on the Matrix for. You never wrote the Matrix, don't even know what the Matrix is. Your movie, they are in your book, they destroyed it. And they also did the English writer Alan Moore, V for Vendetta. They destroyed his work so badly. He didn't even want his name on his own work. I mean, they're hysterically funny. They cannot write. They hoodwink you guys for the money. And I hope the investors are listening to me. All the investors that put in $160 million because you believe that Andy and Larry Wachowski wrote The Matrix, you need to go to the FBI and file on them and make them pay that money back, or go to jail for defrauding you guys, because they knew they never wrote The Matrix and Terminator, never had no copyrights, never owned anything. They were nothing but crash dummies, crash test dummies. James Cameron, Gail Ann Hurd, all frauds, liars and thieves. Sorry, spoiler, but it's the truth. Can I hear you?
All right, so the question is, have you reached out to Tyler Perry, and would that be a good fit to produce future projects? Money has always been an issue for Blacks to produce high budget movies.
Well, I never had any issues. Warner Brothers offered me $30 million for the shooting script to The Matrix 4 Evolution. 3 bankers have called me about projects, and I have their private emails and private phone numbers. Some superstars, actors and stuff don't have that information. A lot of producers don't even have that information. No, Matrix and Terminator are billion-dollar franchises, and it's original work that makes billions of dollars, not rehashed, not retrashed, not redone, trying to pull something together. It doesn't make any money at all. Copying and mimicking doesn't make any money. The original work and more original work, it makes millions and billions of dollars. And the bankers and people who are investors know this. They know it. I got a Matrix attraction that is Matrix World. Is greater than any metaverse, because metaverse don't even know where that technology is going, virtual reality. I've been talking about it in my interviews, in my book, Matrix 4 Evolution, for, like I told you, 11 years. Next year will be the 12th year. Read it and see where virtual reality is really going.
Okay,
I was
so
talking about virtual
the next question I have is, where will the animated version air?
Where will it air? Yeah, where else? On a distribution platform. And what is the distribution platforms? Netflix, Amazon, and you can create your own. You can create your own platform. Now the world is our oyster because of technology. We can make billions of dollars, we can make millions of dollars, we can be owners, we can do whatever we want. It's left up to you. It's left up to you where you want to go with your work and what you want to do and how far you want to go. It's all left up to you.
And I'm looking to see, I'm looking to see if there are any other questions. No? Okay, it looks like we are out of questions, but oh, let's see. I am a fan of F. Gary Gray. He has a good name. Would he be a fit for you or your project?
F. Gary, who? Who did they say? F. Gary, who?
F.
I
Gary
didn't
Gray.
get the,
So
who's F. Gary Gray? I heard the name before.
So
Yeah.
he's a reputable, I think he's a director or producer, but I can go to the next question because if you don't know him, then that probably is not a good question.
It's a great question. It's a great.
The next one would be
question.
what tip? Oh,
No, it's a great question. If they had said the director F. Gary Gray, then I would.
Can you repeat it? Because
I said if they had said the director F. Gary Gray, then I would know who they're talking about. I know his work. But if they're just calling a name out, that could be anybody's name because there's a lot of duplicate names out there. Yeah, but they say director F. Gary. Oh, he does great work. I like his work. And yeah, I would do work with him. I would work with director F. Gary Gray. Yes, of course. Antoine Fuqua, a lot of directors, Michael Bay, Oliver Stone, just a lot of different ones out there. I would work with them. There's a lot of great directors and I admire them. I admire that director that writes the John Wick series. I like his work also. So there's a lot of John Woo. Yeah, a lot of directors out there that I love their work.
Yeah, I love the work of John Woo too. I have another question. Someone asked if you could share some tips and ideas for how to monetize their work. So some of the people in our audiences are content creators. They have characters that they've created and they have like graphic novels and comic books, and they're curious about how they can use the internet.
Well, they can come to me. I mentor students on a one-on-one. And so that's something that you would have to go into details on this interview, and it's getting ready to end. So why don't you just do a one-on-one, go to my website, truthaboutmatrix.com or matrixterminator.com, or simply Google Sophia Stewart. Get in touch with me, email me, and hey, ask for it to be mentored, and I can help you to monetize a piece of cake.
Right, well, I see a lot of people that are really excited about possibly meeting you in person. So, we'll have to have some conversations about bringing you to San Diego. I know we talked about me submitting a proposal, so I'll work on that with the BSAM San Diego board. And I just want to tell you, we are so grateful to you for you making the time. We appreciate everything that you shared with us, and much respect for your vision and your brilliance.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. And thank you guys for having me. And I look forward to San Diego. Excited about that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, folks. So we kind of did things in a different order. So now we have completed the interview. If anyone has any questions about Black speculative arts or Afrofuturism, we had another board member show up while we were in process. Jackie, can you stand up and wave and tell the people a little bit about you?
So my name is Jacqueline Clark, and I'm gonna be the treasurer for the
You
Black
are.
Speculative Arts Movement.
You are.
I am the treasurer. And I have 18 and a half years working in accounting. I met Dr. LaWana first when she did the Afrofuturism Lounge and went to the one that she had down at the architectural building on Fifth Avenue. And I just believed in her, I mean, because she dresses the part, she believes in this. And it's just something different because when she explained to me what the Black Speculative Arts Movement meant, and it's a what if, and we all have that question, what if this, what if that? They're just bringing it to life for us. And so I just wanted to be a part of that because we want to leave the future what if questions for our generations that are here, that are coming. And so they don't have better opportunities than we have. And maybe they will not be in the position to have to fight like.
It's not that she's not done with the lawsuit. It's that now that there's new content, she's looking at
Expanding.
new lawsuits.
Oh, okay. But that's why I just
Yeah.
want to be involved and help her out. And she needs our help, our assistance. She's a very creative woman herself. And but to do this with her from the ground up, it's an honor. And I'm just happy to be involved. So that's all.
Aww. Well, I didn't think she was going to talk about me. I thought she was going to tell you about her wonderful self.
Well, that's all.
And so, with that, we're still in the process of bringing everything together and bringing people together. Just to give you some ideas, some of the things that have happened are, in other chapters, they've created coffee table books. They've done exhibits. The Global Network is actually hosting 2 months of events at Carnegie Hall. I'll actually be moderating a panel on Black women I think in sci-fi or comics or in Afrofuturism. I have to read the prospectus. So there are a lot of things happening. And then aside from the work of the Black Speculative Arts Movement and AfroCon, which are the things that are near and dear to my heart that I'm working on, I think it's important for people to know that San Diego has a lot going on. February 19th and 20th, Keith and Jones is producing his Black Comics Day at the World Beat Center. And the very next weekend, JD Banks is going to be producing the Black Nerds Expo at Miracosta College. There'll be gaming and music and comics and booths and exhibitors and panels and workshops, and it's a lot of fun. We're looking at doing more cosplay stuff, more co-creation and envisioning of what's possible in the future. And so I really hope that you will stay tuned in, and I encourage you all to go to bsamsd.org and join our mailing list so that you can stay up to date on events as we get them planned and scheduled. And if you're interested in being part of the network, be sure to say that, and we'll reach out and talk about how to get engaged. I think, does anyone have any questions or anything they want to say before we close out? Always try to give everybody a chance. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody's support, and I'm always available to answer questions, and I look forward to seeing you the next time we're all together.
Thank you so much. Great presentation.
Oh, wait, I can't hear you. Let me turn up the sound. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Thank you so much. Great presentation. Great interview.
Thank you, Dr. Mia.
You're welcome.
I can't hear you.
LaWana, awesome job as usual. I was glad I was able to be a part of it. You did a great job.
It's always nice to have it's nice to have Ed Fu in the house. I love you all, and look forward to the next event. Thank you all very much. I'm gonna close out the Zoom unless anyone else has anything. All right, thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Peace and
All right.
blessings.
All right.